Okay, and welcome back to the Brisbane Lions podcast, the minor premiership for 2019. Chris,
really getting on that early.
Chris has just rambled on for a couple of minutes. Please forgive him. So, look, he's just now going to tell you their bye structure.
And I'm going to go through it real quick. Team overview. Had a really good season last year.
No, you had your chance at team overview, Chris. just move on.
Run that train.
Move on. Just talk about the draw.
They have a really easy draw, the third easiest draw according to Champion Data, and they play Hawks, Roos, Power, Dogs and Suns are their double-up games.
No way.
Yeah, crazy. 1 5-day break and 4 6-day breaks, which is fairly good compared to league average. It's pretty low, actually. And I do see them as someone that can approach that sort of 8th to 12th, somewhere in there, win 10 to 12 games sort of team. And that's obviously proven by the fact that they had 5 losses for under 7 points, including 4 by under a kick.
Wonderful.
In last year.
And they have the last bye? Middle bye?
The bye, they have the round 13, which is the middle bye.
The middle bye.
So that's shared with Collingwood, Geelong, Melbourne, Swans and Eagles.
That's probably going to be the hardest bye, I think, as far as premiums.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of premiums in that bye, and especially because they're so SuperCoach relevant, you really have to, you can't take too many. But I think you can take 2 or 3 Lions this year fairly comfortably, without even including rookies. So,
jeez, I'm not sure I'm game enough.
Oh, okay. Here we've got some live Twitch stuff. Jared Lyons to average more than Lockie Neal bet. Oh, that's not going to happen. Things that aren't going to happen this year.
Not unless there's like a 20-point handicap.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, we'll start on numbers.
That would be interesting. Hipwood and Andrews.
If Hipwood and Andrews stay fit, the Lions can make the 8. Oh, that's a big call. Swez, I think that's a bet coming.
Yes, jeez. I'll tell you what, if Hipwood gets 15 shots at goal a game, then maybe, because he'll probably slot about 6 of them.
Yeah.
He'll miss 4 and 5 will go out in the full.
Yeah, that's it.
How many, I would like to see the stats. I reckon him and
Joe Danaher together could not be worse shots at goal.
There's a bet.
Who misses more?
Who misses more?
Who has more out in the fulls for the season?
Yes.
That would be a great
Is that an average or is that a total? Because Danaher probably won't even play the full
He'll
season.
play 4 games.
Yes. No. And do 20. No, you do one. You do one.
We shouldn't pile on Essendon. They're actually going to be really competitive this year. But I do love piling on
I do want to see Joe Danaher.
I do. And if we could say one thing about both Hipwood and Danaher, it's that they're both amazing to watch.
Yeah.
Talented, physically, they're just insane, the things that they can do at their height, which is great.
They're amazing to watch unless they're at the buffet. They don't even touch the food. They're so skinny. I'll have the water.
That was a really good one. So that was better than your average.
Yes.
And you kept it G-rated. I'm really happy for you. Well done.
Thanks for telling the people at home, Chris.
So their off-season, guys, was probably one of the better off-seasons from any club this year. So their ends, Lockie Neal, Jared Lyons, Marcus Adams and Lincoln McCarthy, all 4 of those guys, if they're all fit and healthy, should slot straight into the first 22.
Yep. I think Marcus Adams is a good get when fit too.
Yeah,
I think underrated.
Lincoln McCarthy has shown in his glimpses at Geelong that if his body is okay, which it never is, that he can really play footy. He's a good footy player.
I think the problem was, Chris, is the arthritis. So you bring him up to warmer weather, and he's gonna.
That's right. Yeah,
he'll be.
It was that ocean breeze from Geelong.
Oh yeah, he won't play anywhere south of the border.
No way.
But he'll be good for the Q Clash.
We're not going to make him travel.
No, he'll be great for the home games.
You.
Home games, Q Clash.
Yeah, that's it. Done.
Yep, done.
Now, unfortunately, they did lose Dane Beams. Hello. Sam Mays and Jack Frost retired, so those are the losses. Yep. Jack Frost played like 2 games for you guys?
Well, I wouldn't consider him a loss. No. He didn't go anywhere. He just got booted. Catch you later.
I don't know. Did Collingwood give up anything, or was he a free agent?
No, we gave up something to get him.
Really?
And yeah, it was like
he's such a spud.
I was like,
when he played with Collingwood, man, it was like the teams would literally let him get the ball so that he could kick it out of the back.
I think it was like we gave up like
turnover ball.
We gave up like pick 36, and then we got Frost and like pick 58 or something, right? Something horrible.
Oh, did we say that we were sponsored by 4 Pints on the record?
Oh, no. So, 4 Pints. Today is sponsored by Chris's Fridge. Also known as 4 Pints Brewing Company. Do you know, I think it's 4 Pints is New South Wales, correct?
I'm not sure.
I believe, Brookvale. So they also do Brookvale Union, the ginger beer.
Yeah, nice.
4 Pints.
Cool.
Really nice.
Good to know. And we might be starting up a beer pod series.
Yeah. Here's a fun fact.
So look, I think Beams is a massive loss, but I mean, if you're going to replace him with anyone, Lockie Neal's great, and Jared Lyons as well.
Lockie Neal and Lyons will provide more value than Beams.
Yeah.
I'm not upset because Beams is older than Neal. Beams probably will be getting towards the end of his career when we start pushing finals. So to actually get 2 first-round picks for him to still, inject youth into our side while we're pushing up, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I agree.
I wish him well. I didn't really like his post straight after he got traded being like, oh, my heart's always been Collingwood. That one hurt a little, but I understand what it was for. It was to get the people motivated.
Something from our Twitch user, Dave Swizz. Lions' biggest fixture issue is that they play Geelong in round 22 and Tigers in round 23, so they would need to be up by then. It also doesn't very much help them in Supercoach terms on the grand final day, but other than that,
they seem to do okay against Geelong sometimes.
They've got a decent...
And Geelong tend to take their foot off against easy opponents anyway. Yeah. So, Richmond would be the difficult one, especially with Tom Lynch. Jeez, I'm scared to... I'm keen to watch Richmond play this year, 100%.
I've always been keen to watch Richmond play, and that's coming from a Pies fan. I just like watching them play.
The only time I don't like watching Richmond play is round 1.
I especially like watching them play in the preliminary final.
Every year, round 1.
I have it on repeat in my... Actually, I'm sure there's YouTube highlights that I can pull up right now.
You better not. Better not, my friend. But yes, all the trade-ins are Supercoach relevant. I think they all have value to bring. McCarthy could be a draft steal, depending if it's an 18-man league or something like that. You could definitely get some value out of that.
Yeah.
Even Marcus Adams could average over 80 quite easily, and Harris Andrews could free him up as well, which would be amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're just saying off the air, Harris Andrews actually has a better disposal efficiency than Witherden.
Yep.
Who everyone rates.
We'll get right into that.
Well, then move on, Chris.
I just want to get into the rookies quickly because there are actually some good rookies that Brisbane I think will have.
So Chris likes to set up a structure and then throw me in it by going with premiums first, and now it's his turn. He's going to flip it back and go with rookies.
I put my name down, flip it, then reverse it. That's what I do.
Yes, Missy Elliott. Yeah, I see it. I'm not usually the best with music. But
all right. So look, they obviously had some late picks, but I think that they did go the draft with a plan, and I really enjoy the plan that they went to. The highlight for me is obviously Eli Smith, who they took at pick 21, and I think he will be a popular rookie, big body midfielder. If he gets half decent games in JLT, he'll probably start round 1, I'd say.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think he'll get a berth?
I think it's going to be hard for spots, funnily enough.
It will be because, there are others that I think get more mid-time. Someone like a Jared Berry who had a great back end of the last year, or someone like a Hugh McCluggage hopefully getting more mid-time. But I still think that they might just squeeze him in. He's that good of a player. He's AFL ready, 187 centimetres, 86 kilos. He finished first in the standing jump and high on the single jump on either foot test at the combine.
I know he's a big boy.
He's a big boy. I think accurate by foot.
I think he might be more of an upgrade, like a downgrade target, should I say? But I'll be pleasantly surprised if he is. I know he is a big boy.
I really like him.
They do need more big boys.
He gets game time.
They do need more big boys to help them out. But I think with Lions and stuff in as well, I think it's actually they've got 2 for 1 now.
Yeah.
So you got Neal and Lions going in there.
Yeah.
I think for a big body midfielder, yes, they need them. But then I think guys that have been in the system for 3 years, 4 years, you're looking at your Beast, Matheson.
I'm done with Beast.
No, I don't think
he's ever going to be a fully legit AFL player.
I think
same with like a Ben Keys.
I think you'll be wrong with the Beast this year. Oh, Keys I lost last year. Keys, I was on him last year, and he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Can't even make it in the first. He could be the who was that Carlton guy that just Wright? No, not Wright. He did all right. The other one. Good at VFL, but not in AFL.
Tom Bell?
No. He's gone. We did say he would get delisted.
Good. So great.
He was playing like a man that wanted to get delisted. Tell you what.
Could not get out of there quick enough. Anyway,
you know what the best part was?
Round him up.
Do you know what the best part is? Just quickly. He doesn't have to relocate far because I'm pretty sure he's from Aspley. So he's already home.
That's great. He's probably playing for the local team.
Yeah, probably.
Starring with 45 possessions and 6 goals a game. Anyway, so look, 17 games he played for Murray Bushrangers last year, and he polled in 16 of them. But he had a good year and made the TAC Cup Team of the Year as well. So,
and when he come dead last, he had a good year though.
Great. He averaged 23.5 disposals. 11.5 contested possessions and 6 tackles and 5 clearances. So yeah, I think he's going to be okay. He also kicks goals too, so not a bad option. All of their trade-ins are SC relevant. Yes, thanks, Clarky.
I'm empty.
Cool. Anyway, Tom Berry, so brothers to Jared Berry. Thanks very much for that. He's obviously brothers. I'm not entirely sure why they went for him. So he's a utility type player, can play a variety of positions, but considered a pacey defender midfielder. He's just at awkward height. He's not really like, he's 185, so that's a real mid-range, and he's 76 kegs, so definitely a project player. I don't think he's going to be someone that's going to be playing much this year, but maybe it was just because he's his brother and they just wanted the brothers together.
I think it's twofold. Sure. I think he works hard. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's still a workhorse, like the family. I think he has talent. Granted, I think he had some injury issues to come over, but if it's going to help keep you re-signing Jared Berry, who's killing it, to get a guy with talent who you may also be able to keep, I think it's a great win. Yeah,
I think it really does help their go home factor, and I think Berry's one that they really, really want to keep.
And if they keep Berry, they have a better chance of keeping McCluggage because they're friends.
Yep.
So why not get the brother in?
Sure.
I'm sure if McCluggage had a brother, they'd be signing him too.
They did pick him up fairly early though, so pick 36. So he may surprise, but I can't see him being SC relevant this year.
I can't see him being relevant this year, maybe in the latter part of the year, but I think it's more of if he might get his chances in a year or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with their pick 40, Tom Joyce, odd selection again. Missed the entire year with a hip injury, so maybe that's why.
No, Tom Joyce, good pick.
No, you like him?
Yeah, so the year before that, they were really, really, really keen on him.
Okay.
Like, super keen, like, we want this kid, and then he had back issues.
Yep.
So, like, a Jesse Hogan.
He didn't play at all.
Jesse Hogan had back issues, so that, they're keen on him. And to get him the year later, cheaply, keen.
Well, here's the thing, though. He needs to get in the gym.
Yes.
He's 180 centimetres and 70 kilos for an inside midfielder. Like, he needs to spend the entire year at the gym.
Maybe it's the other guy I was thinking of that didn't play that had a back issue. I thought he was a big boy.
But he did miss the whole year. Connor McFadden at pick 42. Another midfielder. I think they're just getting more and more midfielders. So here we go. He can pinch hit up forward and hit the scoreboard. He's likened to a sort of Jordan De Goey type. So he's explosive and he's 190 centimetres and 81 kilos. Academy selection for the Lions, which I really like. Played 5 NEFL games last year. Kicked 6 goals, but he didn't really set the world on fire, only averaging 9.4 disposals. So don't really think he's relevant. Noah Ainsworth is someone that I really like. Pick 55. Year older than most because he missed the draft in 2017 with a fracture in his back.
That's the guy I was thinking of.
Here we go. So no,
this guy.
Here we go.
Sorry, wrong guy.
So came back to captain the Oakley Chargers to a grand final this year, and can play all over the park. Has an AFL frame, but is a little bit short to be a prototype defender at 182 centimetres and 82 kilos. He averaged 20 disposals with 9.1 kicks and 11 handballs. And half of those are contested, which is always good. Can play a variety of positions. In the TAC Cup Grand Final, he had 27 disposals and 6 rebound 50s playing off the halfback flank. I think he's someone that, if they're looking to get a defender in there, I don't think he's going to play round 1, but potentially.
That was a guy I was keen on, sorry.
Yeah, they really love him, and I think he could go really well as well. I think that they're looking at somewhere, as I said, between that 9 to 12 range in terms of their finish, somewhere along there. Now, premiums. So let's get into the premiums. I think there's one person on everyone's lips, and it is Dane Zorko. I thought you were going to say Lachie Neale. I was like, oh, yeah.
No. Well, Lachie Neale would be number 1.
Yeah.
Dane Zorko, you can park up for a second, mate. You can go number 2.
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned. I would actually...
Ainsworth over Smith because there is a spot for him in defence, he reckons.
Yeah.
So it could be true. I really like Ainsworth. He's in my team right now. So
Sam Mays has also been booted, so I think there is definitely options for defence. They have bulked up a bit in their midfield. I know they still want to get more midfield, like some bigger bodies, which is where Smith could come in.
They've got huge bodies.
Yeah.
Because they've got Smith, Berry, McCluggage is no slouch.
Yes.
Lachie Neale, Jared Lyons.
Yeah.
Like, the midfield's big. Like, it's one of the biggest. Anyway, so look, I think Dane Zorko is one of the value selections of the year. I don't know how you have thought about Zorko
No,
so
I think
far.
he's definitely valued. I kind of regret not bringing him in when he was super cheap, and I did have a soft spot for the man.
Yeah.
Did.
And look, here's some really, really important stats if you are looking at Dane Zorko. So he averaged 69.6
Preach, Chris.
with Daniel Rich either injured or not, and not in the team. As soon as he came back, he averaged with Rich in the side, he averaged 103. So that just shows how important Daniel Rich is to Dane Zorko in terms of he would otherwise get the tag, or he gets massive attention as opposed to Daniel Rich. So he's an important cog in the Brisbane midfield, and if he becomes injured at any point, you might just train Zorko. But if he can avoid a tag, I think he's great. He had a 13-game stretch at 115 average, and I think it's just a value consideration. I can't see him averaging under 105. If he can maintain Daniel Rich's fitness, I think that he's absolutely going to shoe in to average. I'm predicting him at a 110, which is what he's done the previous 2 years.
Yeah, I'm pretty much around that same
And
mark.
at 520k.
Not only that,
Steal.
he got tagged early, and he had a year of soul searching, so he actually worked through the tag.
Clarky just says Mr. Coffee Zorko. yes, Mr. Coffee Zorko.
You know what? I would actually really love to have Zorko tweet or comment one day, and acknowledge me.
Maybe get Zorko's girlfriend to tweet. Off-season shenanigans. Good on you, Dane.
Jeez,
Good on you, Dane.
Is it so hard to acknowledge someone? Like, hey, yeah, I remember you, guy. You tried to buy me coffee, and I said no.
Yeah. Now, I think this year will be the first year that Lachie Neale's ever actually in a majority of teams. I think he might be in, say, 30-40% of teams.
Well, here's the thing. The bigger his ownership, the less likely I am to start him. And I really want to.
Yeah.
Like, I really,
he's my team right
really want to. Yeah.
Yep.
But, I mean, the thing that Lachie Neale has going for him is, A, he's in a good side now.
Yep.
B, before, like, he actually had a really good year when Nat Fyfe was out, except he got beaten up. He had shoulder surgery, he had wrist surgery. And even still, that was in the year prior. Last year, he still had a good year.
Yep.
Still had a good year under Fyfe. I don't think he's going to get tagged with Daniel Rich and Zorko in the side. Brisbane play a high possession football game.
Yep.
So, especially with the new rules with tap out and stuff, like I see Steph Martin actually being able to outmuscle a few guys to get some of this ball.
Have you seen that chest?
Yeah.
He can outmuscle anyone.
Oh, he can outmuscle anyone. So, I see good things in that area. I think he'll get a lot more ball, and that is why I think playing in a high possession team, being the key cog that doesn't actually get tagged, that's why I see Tom Mitchell like numbers as far as possessions. It might not
Is he
go
a
as far
must-have,
as
do you
score.
think?
I'd like to say so, but then if he's owned by 40%, like, what's the point? I'll get someone else.
Here's the point.
I'll bring Zorko in and say, mate, look, there's 2 coffees on the line.
Can you run
Pick
both?
it up.
Because I'm currently running both, and I think you can.
I think you could. I mean,
Depending on... It honestly will depend on, like, do you have a defender in there or a forward as well? And you can't have too many lines. You've got to remember... I think buy structure comes
well, I don't know.
play.
Shane Mumford disagrees. He says you can never have too many lines.
That's true.
I think that's two good ones. I think that's 2 good ones.
Oh, that was great. Dude, you're on fire. You should stop now.
Spontaneous.
That's your jokes for the day.
Has anyone seen Seinfeld? And he's like, that's it, I'm done, and walks out.
Yeah, so good.
Sydney have had previous seasons where they've had a few guys being in the top sort of, 10 midfielders. So I think it's more than possible. Lachie Neale and Zorko starting the year prior were pretty much both around that sort of 10th mark. So I think it's definitely possible. I am keen on both. I think Zorko might have a little fluctuation, and I might be able to pick him up a little later.
Yep.
But Lachie Neale, consistent as they come for me. So
interestingly, this is Lachie Neale had a really slow start to last year, and he only averaged 89 over the first 5 rounds.
Shoulder surgery, wrist surgery.
Right. From then on, he averaged 116.9. There is no reason why he can't go 115 plus this year.
I'm with you.
And I think that he really can.
If you have a draft selection that's outside the top 7, I'd be picking up Lachie Neale.
Yep. Here's the other great thing. He's only missed 2 games in 5 seasons.
Yeah.
And he has a 3-season average of 110.
Yep.
Lock.
Like I told you, he was banged up when Fyfe was out. And he was the only Fremantle player playing that year, basically.
But whether or not Fife was in didn't impact his scoring.
No, it didn't. It just meant that he was getting tagged more. He was getting beaten up trying to get the contested ball.
Yeah.
So, I see good things as far as Lachie Neale goes. I am really keen on him. The only problem I had is that I wanted to pick him up with a round 2 draft selection, which is never going to happen because
not going to happen.
He's in the top 10.
I think he's a legitimate captain choice in draft.
Draft, yes.
Yeah. So
I would pick him number 1 in
because
draft.
he's that guy that can get you 110 every single week.
Yeah, no, I'm keen.
And look, he also can go real high.
And who can put a price on Love? I mean, let's be honest.
That's true.
But yeah, no, really keen on Lachie Neale, 100%.
Yep. Now the other one that I think you're very keen on is old mate Harris Andrews. So
yes,
tell us a little bit about Harris Andrews, mate.
Harris Andrews, my blonde love child. Mr. Go-Go Gadget Arms. Tell you what, this man has some closing speed like there's no tomorrow.
He does. He really does have some closing speed.
And Go-Go Gadget Arms. Like even then, he would give Tom Lynch when he was at the Suns. He would give him room, and then he would close in that speed and go, bang.
He's fantastic.
Fantastic. Awesome disposal efficiency, not to mention the Brisbane Lions actually look to use him. So he's not just one of those, intercept mark, or I'll punch it, and then that's it.
Yep.
When they switch up the play...
He's the conduit between go back to go forward. Yeah.
Well, they look for him.
They do.
They look for him because when he gets it on the boot, he also hits targets.
Yep.
And his disposal efficiency is like 85%.
Now, he's also massively underpriced this year, which is why I think that he will be in quite a few teams, and definitely a viable defender option for draft. But he was averaging 97.1 points per game prior to getting severely concussed. Got hell knocked out of him by Jeremy Cameron. And he had a 9-game run of 106.7. He's in the conversation. If you want to go a little bit cheaper backline, I don't see why you wouldn't have him at D2.
I thought I actually typoed myself. 85% is his disposal efficiency.
Yeah. I
was like, is that right? Yeah. And Harris Andrews was like 77 or something. So, yeah, huge.
If you can pick him up as D2 in draft, you will love life.
Yeah. See, I love it. I do love him, but then probably because I got him so cheap last year, it's kind of one of those cringe moments where you're like, do I want to, spend? Yeah. But I did say he's the next Alex Rance as far as SuperCoach goes, where someone can, get you the high 90 average and continue that for a long period. Yeah. So that's my... Now,
this is a little bit interesting, but Jared Lyons. I don't know what to make of him this year. I don't know what he's going to perform like. I don't know how he's going to fit into that midfielder. Can we just comment on the fact that I would argue that he would have just had issues with the coach? Is that he just wanted to leave because of Stewie Jew?
Here's my theory on it, Chris. I didn't send any emails. Don't worry, everybody. My theory is that when water's leaking from every facet, they start trying to blame people. Water's leaking here, water's leaking there, water's pissing out everywhere. They're like, you're not working hard enough both ways, etc., etc., etc. But that's the player he is. So they're blaming him for the leaks when really leaks were just coming everywhere. Do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily his fault. So I think it was a bit of an issue with that. Maybe some clashes off the field, who knows. But he still had a contract, and it was like, well, he might not even be playing in the first for the Suns because, look, they ruined Barlow's career. So, what's going to happen there?
They aggressively trade. I reckon there was a breakdown between what they promised him when he signed for the club.
Yeah.
The direction that they're on.
That's probably fair.
Here's where we want to be in 4 years. He comes to them after their first year and goes, hold on, mate, this is where you said that you were going to go.
And now everyone, there's a fire sale and now you're rebuilding and you're not even including me in these plans.
Well, I was told that this is a club that's going to be making the 8 in 3 years. Why we're not even they're not even close.
Yep.
They're going to be bottom of the ladder by so much this year. It's ridiculous. They may have the worst percentage, probably not worse than their first year, but I don't see them going anywhere near... they might win one game, maybe. They're so far behind the 8 ball, Gold Coast.
I'll tell you what Gold Coast is good for. Playing against.
For SuperCoach. For your team's percentage.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And when your team's...
And bookies on field.
And your vice-captain scores when they verse the Suns. But I think, especially with Corey Lyons being at Brisbane, I think Brisbane... wanted some bigger bodied midfielders, and when they heard that there might be a bit of a riff, they then aggressively approached the Gold Coast.
I wonder what he's on.
Yeah, well, it frees up some salary cap space, and the fact that Gold Coast had salary cap space issues before Lynch and May...
well, it's the same with GWS. They tried to sell the farm to get good players.
I tell you what, Fiorini must be on bank. I tell you what.
Well, he should be.
Keen on that, man.
The kid's a gun.
Anyway, so...
Anyway, we'll see what he did. I mean, he averaged 92 for the season and played major mid-minutes. I don't think he's going to be standard relevant, but you might pick him up, say, as one of the last
standard,
midfielders.
I'd be keen in draft. Yeah, he's worth the gamble in draft because on fire he'll go 100 plus.
And he's not that cheap. 502k for 18k more. You go Dan Zelko. So why would you even think about someone like a Jared Lyons?
If you like wasting money.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, draft. I'd be willing to have a crack for draft, 100%.
Now, their only real forward option that's a premium option is Mitch Robinson. He did have a couple of really big scores. He had a 172 in round 10. He slipped to averaging 91 for the year, which is slightly lower than his personal best, which he had in 2015 of 92. I can't really see him playing more mid-minutes. I think it's probably going to be up to the same, about a 90 average. Which is decent, but I don't think someone's standard relevant. Again, I think definitely draft relevant. I do see other players that were playing more forward minutes moving more into the midfield, like McCluggage and Berry, etc., and him playing maybe potentially more forward than he has in the past. So that's where I see him as slowly transitioning.
What about his off-field antics, Chris?
I don't know what Robbo gets up to in his off-field antics, and I probably don't want to know. What did he do?
He got signed for gaming.
Oh, yeah, Fortnite. Yeah, he's playing Fortnite. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. You know who else does as well? Jamie Elliott plays a lot of Fortnite. I don't know if he got signed, but he's...
I can tell you why Jamie Elliott's
he's
playing a lot of Fortnite.
Because he's injured. Oh, wait, if I just tweak this hamstring, I got another 3 weeks of
injured
Fortnite in me.
hamstring, injured back. Oh, no, but my thumbs are good.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh, very funny, very funny.
Good man.
Teams playing Suns last week of the season, get on. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Anyway, okay.
Yeah, definitely upgrade targets.
So yeah, Mitch Robinson. I think someone you can maybe plug in at if you're running short on cash late in the season, you'll get your.
Oh, Mitch Robbo's not bad for draft. I do agree with the 6 playing the Suns in the back end of the year. I mean, look what Jack Rewalt did. Anyone with a forward that versus them, go nuts.
Yeah, definitely.
As far as I'm concerned, go nuts.
Now, Steph Martin. So
yes, he had a good year.
Had a really good year. Here's the thing. It's actually his third best year, and he had a 105 average in SuperCoach. But it's kind of rendered him completely useless, I reckon, in standard. Because if you're going to spend up big, he's 573k. If you're going to spend up big on a ruck, why aren't you going Gordon Grundy, who are probably arguably going to average considerably more than someone like a Steph Martin?
Yep.
But one thing I would say is that the good thing is that he did learn how to play with another ruck in the team. So with big Oscar McInerney playing in the squad, he managed that didn't really impact him. So I think that is still the system that they will use moving forward. And I don't see Big O having more ruck minutes and taking away from Steph this year.
Yeah, I wonder if Archie would actually get the nod over Big O this year.
Oh, you saw Archie,
I did see. I saw him at Cafe 63, Stanley Street, East Brisbane.
Hey Archie, if you're watching.
Yeah, no, I was very subtle this time. Unlike the Zorko incident, I learnt my lessons. No, I was paying for my bill, and he was behind me with his missus, and he had a little dog.
Yep.
And then when I paid her turn
Can't
around...
miss him, can you? He's huge.
Oh, he's a big boy. And trendy fella, and I just said, look, as I walked past him, I said, best of luck this season.
Didn't offer him a coffee?
Thanks very much. No, offered his missus a coffee. Kidding.
Now, I've put him in we'll move on to the last premium, but I actually have put him in as a mid-pricer conversation, which is Alex Withen.
Yes.
So you have big raps in him, and I think everyone can see the talent.
I think, it's more the talents there, plus the kick-out rules.
Yep.
He's also quick, and I know he's been working on his game, particularly actually in the off-season had a sprint coach to try and actually work on being able to accelerate quickly and have power
I read that article.
to be able to actually break lines and break through with the ball.
Yep.
So he's been working, and apparently
running, stop-start.
Well, running wasn't his strong suit, so he wanted to improve his running style and running like sprint style and pace, being able to actually get power and break lines.
Yep.
So you get that combined with the new kick-out rules. I don't see a reason why he can't average
Dave Smith says he's a lock. Yeah. No, I don't know about that.
Well, I can't see... I honestly think he could easily average 95 plus for the year.
I do as well. I'll tell you why.
His potential could be 105 plus. He could be an Elliot Yo type that goes big. But whether it happens, he could also average 85.
You mean up, down, up, down, up, down?
Well, he could also average 85.
Well, here's the thing that he actually got injured in the last...
Swizz. I think
he got injured in the last round of the season, so his true average was actually 87. Which is slightly more than what his previous year 9-game sample was.
Yes.
So he did improve, and he takes a hell of a lot of kick-ins.
Yeah.
So if that impacts SuperCoach scoring this year, and we still don't really know the definition of what's going to happen there.
Well, didn't Laird go from like an 88 to a 100 to a 106?
Yeah, I like he's the type, he's the prototype
He's
that
the
could
type.
definitely do it. I think he will be pushing a lot of standard teams. I'm a little bit, if that's the structure I go with, where I need a cheaper defender, he's one of the options at that price point.
I'm tempted to go Witherden over
Yep.
Blakely.
Nah,
That's
no
me.
chance.
Well, he plays every game. He also has a good string of games
No
where he
way.
can piece scores together.
Blakely's $12,000 more, and
So
has had a patch of 110 average.
an 8-game period.
Where he played midfield.
Whoop-de-doo.
Just saying. No, I don't-
Whoop-de-doo. He also
can't push me
breaks
off.
down more than a Ford Holden.
You can't push me off him.
Did you hear what I said? A Ford Holden.
That thing? That's not a thing. It's like you take two cars, cut it in half, roll them together.
It's
fine.
Despop. It's a real thing, right? No, it's not real.
Andrews, I think, could be a safer option because with it also has the odd 45 game.
Yeah.
So when his disposal's not on, or when his disposals are way too uncontested, because he might have 17 disposals all uncontested, and if his disposal's not on point, he might get a 45 on 17 disposals. That's the sort of player he is.
Andrews may be safer, but I think Harris Andrews could, Witherden could actually average more.
Potentially.
The risk-reward, I think, goes towards Witherden.
He did so averaging 87. He had 2 scores in the 40s this year on decent possession numbers. Those possession numbers were 17 and 19.
He's
So
young.
there's 2 games where he did. Yeah.
He butchered it.
Yeah. So look, I love him as a player, and I think he's an option to definitely increase his value. Looking into my crystal ball, I might see him more as an upgrade target rather than a start. But I don't know how that goes in. You're kind of convincing me now.
I'm just laughing at the background noise.
Sorry if there's background noise here. We've got a child in the house. Our niece is here, so she probably just woke up from her sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
I was wondering, I thought that was someone else. Right. I don't know. That's the funniest thing about
That's cool.
Yeah, right.
Now, some other mid-prices. These are more draft relevant, but Alan Christensen. So I don't really see him as someone that you would ever pick in standard.
Draft maybe if you're desperate enough. He could go an 80 average.
Look, his true average was 76.5 because he got knocked out on -3.
That's the Nathan Jones effect. I remember.
That's so Nathan Jones.
Nathan Jones. Chris was in a grand finals about 3 seasons ago. SuperCoach draft, grand final. This other guy, was it his captain or was it not his captain? I think he might have made Sandilands his captain, but
who knows?
either way, Nathan
Doesn't
Jones,
matter.
grand final. This guy is winning the whole way. Lance Franklin gets injured on like 50. Then he's winning by a ton. And then Nathan Jones, clanger, and then goes off injured on like -4.
Pulls a hammy.
-4. And then Chris wins the grand final.
That was great. That's called the Bradbury.
Jesus.
So look, I think he's someone you can have late on your bench in draft. He's not someone I think you can ever look at in standard. I don't think he's got to push that. Is he going to push up to that sort of 90 average that he had at Geelong? Maybe with a better team, but
Nah, I think not.
definitely a wait and see.
Not with like Charlie Cameron and everyone else in there. They're just going to rotate through.
Yeah.
That's my feeling. I think he'll just rotate through and he'll provide value, yes, but yeah.
Daniel Rich has draft value, I think, as well.
He does.
428k, so I wouldn't touch him in standard.
Also got injured, quarter 2.
In the second quarter of round 1, and then he had 4 games off. So true average is 82 over his 17 games. So viable draft selection.
Viable draft, and he could average up.
He's a guy that can get you a 130 on a night, you know?
Yeah, he
really
has
have a big
averaged close to 90 a couple, so it's... I don't mind him for draft. At least he's semi-reliable, I feel, especially if they're getting a lot of possessions and they just want to give it to him to kick it long. But yeah.
Now, of the young players at the Lions, my favourite has to be Hugh McCluggage. I love watching him play. Had a couple of absolutely ridiculous games last year where he got a 130 and a 140.
Yeah, his ceiling's getting up.
Well,
good.
When I look at him, I see not as much rolled gold, but the sort of Josh Kelly style of player.
I'm disappointed, Chris.
Why are you disappointed?
I'm very, very disappointed. He's not a forward mid this year.
That's upsetting. That is upsetting.
I was soiling my pants early.
Yep.
I was counting my chickens, and I was like, I am going to be starting him in my side in 2019.
I don't have the stats, but he
Now I
seemed to
can't.
play a lot of forward.
Yeah.
A half forward. He was playing a half forward a lot. So I'm surprised that was the case, because if he was at 416k, mid only, he's unselectable. But if it was in the forward line, you could probably argue a case for him.
I would have been keen, but not anymore.
His true average, because he did get injured and had an injury-affected game, is 79.1. But I really think that he could approach a sort of 90 season this year. With them winning more games,
I think he could go higher. Minutes, I think it's
90's not good enough to lock in.
No, not for standard. No way in hell. But for draft, it's almost like it could be a Bontempelli-esque rise.
So Swizz is just saying Charlie Cameron a draft smoky.
Definitely draft smoky.
Definitely draft. Late, have him on your bench.
But he's only just getting back into full straps. Like running and all the rest of it. So definitely draft smoky. Charlie Cameron.
Machine, which is always good.
Especially if they start winning games like Adelaide did. I mean, he averaged like 86 or stuff, I think, with Adelaide. So he could be a draft smoky, particularly in a larger league. McCluggage, though, it could almost be like a Bontempelli-esque jump where it goes from the 79 average up into like a 96.
That's literally what I'm thinking this year.
Yeah, so I think
it's going to be big. I think it will be to a 90 plus average.
I would not mind him sitting at my M7 in draft.
No, 100%.
Or even if you can get him on your bench, winning. I think he's got value.
He's heavy on my draft radar, and I like him that much that I might pick him just a little bit before I should, just to piss you off.
Hands off. Although there's about 3 Lions supporters that you're versing, I think. 3 or 4 Lions supporters.
Yeah, but none of them like him like I like
4 Lions supporters he has to try and verse. That's fine. I'll just take all the Collingwood.
The other one that I could select is Jared Berry. And I'll tell you why. Jared Berry is awesome, by the way. And watching him play, he's just that big-bodied mid that does everything. And there's a lot to like about him. He averaged 93.1 over his last 9 games. And then he averaged 104.75 over his last 4. Yeah. Serious numbers for a big-time mid who's probably going to get more inside minutes with Dane Beams not in the team. Jared Berry.
He was good, yeah.
Draft Special 101. He could be a mid-price. I mean, look, he's probably too expensive. There's guys that are like 100 grand cheaper than Berry that could potentially average more. So why would you take a punt in standard on someone like a Berry? But in draft, I think Berry is an absolute shoe-in. If you're looking at anyone that you can slot into a late mid-round selection, Jared Berry's your man.
Yeah, the later you get him, it would be very nice.
Yep. Now, I've got a little draft special.
I was waiting for you to clue on.
Sorry. I've got a little draft specialist here, and that is Josh Walker.
Oh.
So, Josh Walker moved into the defence in the back half of the season and looked like a veteran, like he'd never left.
Josh Walker will play a third of the season this year.
The problem is, how many games are going to play? You got Marcus Adams come back. He's probably going to play that role. If he does start centre half back, he averaged 87 over 10 games in the back half of the year. But you'll just need to watch his role, because if he starts in the forward line, then don't select him at all.
He's not going in the defence.
He averaged 71 for the year, and I think he was averaging 35 or 40 in the forward line. So if he can get a start in that defence line, could be a real jar smoky.
I doubt it. I respect your research, but you are high as a kite.
That
is horrible advice for the people. Swizz, get onto him.
On the bench, you can have him on the bench. Let's pre-season bench.
Let's put Walker on. Walker's on.
I'm going to pick him up on my bench.
Yeah, right. And then you'll drop him.
And one to watch. I don't think he's ever going to be relevant in standard, really. But Cam Rayner, he just excitement, and when he touches it, something happens. So he doesn't need a lot of disposals to impact the game. However, he only had 20 possessions or more on 2 occasions.
Is that unlike you, Chris? When you touch it, nothing happens.
That is definitely like me. So he needs to get more of the pill. If he's going to be SuperCoach relevant, he needs to get more of the pill. That's the end of the day.
Yep.
But
I think he'll be that forward mid still.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he will ever transition to a midfielder. I think he's always going to be that half forward impact player.
No, I think he'll move into that midfield. Yeah, like the Dangerfield. I mean, Dusty, I think.
And lastly, players to avoid. I've just got down here Luke Hodge. He definitely managed to play 19 games last year, which is great, and have an average of 83. But he had that huge game, didn't he? 170 or 180 or 190 or something? He had 164, I think it was.
You're telling the story.
But he's 35 years old. They've got players coming in. I don't know if he's going to be playing that many. If he plays more than 10 games this year, that'll be a bonus.
I'd put him on my draft bench. But problem is...
Because he averaged 83...
that's what I mean. Someone's going to pick him up before then. But, exactly. He wouldn't be anything more than a draft bench for me, because he's going to be filling in games for someone else.
Yep.
So, I think that's it.
That rounds out Lions. Any other questions out there from the Twitch sphere over here, or we all good? No. everyone's all good.
Looks like we're good. So we'll move on to the Premiership losers next.
Oh, that's upsetting for me.
Yeah. We're just going to take a quick break. I'm going to go find the muzzle for Chris. And
Fair enough.
yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
Catch you later, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.